Looks like we are. Looks like we are. Camera, I like this camera. Adjust the camera a minute. What are you watching? What did I hit? Kitty. Kitty cat. Ain't nobody watching now, but y'all can always, of course, watch it in post or whenever, whatever you call it. Petting the kitty cat right now. I'm gonna show you this real quick. This is my beautiful. Hey, look at the camera. Hey, over here. Over here. She's just adorable. She's awesome. She's awesome. Yeah, I like the camera. Okay. Oh, we got a viewer. What's up? Today, ranking the MCU. The MCU franchise with like so many movies that I couldn't even just do a video on it. I have to go live for this. It'd be much easier to go live, much more simple. So I got my trusty little tablet here. I got my list off Letterbox. Why isn't this working? Please work. What the heck? Maybe. Maybe? Okay, Wi-Fi is on. See what happens. See what happens. Still. Okay, it did log in. Oh, okay. I already have my MCU list up. So yeah, I got my list off Letterbox like I normally do. I got all that. Here's how it's gonna work. We're just gonna do ranking. Whenever viewers join, y'all can we're gonna answer some questions. I think after every 5 to 10 movies. If you got any questions, just leave them down below. Say what's up if you're here. So I'm just gonna answer those questions as well. Privacy check-in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's me. I don't know why anybody else who would have my tablet wouldn't think it's me, but I mean, yeah. So yeah, we'll answer questions. MCU is a movie franchise that is so special to me, but it also has so many projects to it to where really it kind of gets old. Like it's really old right now, but it's fine. I like the franchise. A lot of the newer stuff, not that big fan of, but some of the big stuff here, I think it's 4, 8, 12, 16. Yeah, I think that a large chunk of this I actually really love. So some of these are my favorite projects of all time. So there's a lot of things here. We've already 3 minutes in. We are going to get started with this ranking after I take a drink. Of course, I need a drink. Drinks are good. Okay. We get started. Number 40 something. I don't know how many projects there are. I'm not going to count them on camera here. So, last place, least favorite MCU thing ever, Miss Marvel. It sucks because I was a big fan of the comic books. Her original run is possibly one of my favorite Marvel comic books ever. I think it's so good. The thing that makes her very special is there. And yet, this TV show decides to kind of be that in the first 2 episodes. It's got enough charm. Kind of be that in the last episode. It's got enough charm in that last episode. And then we're going to be in the middle. And so that's 3 episodes where you're going on this big plot where the TV show or the movie Miss Marvel. The TV show. The movie's called The Marvels. That's my brother, by the way. Comment section. Shout out. Yeah. Anyways, we go on this big journey that nobody cares about. It's yeah, there's these villains and they got this bangle and they're doing all this. And besides a pretty cool fight scene in the middle, there's really nothing here. The plot, the story, all that is not here. It's not good. It's not compelling. Nothing about it is interesting to where we even go back in time to 1940s Depression era. And it just doesn't make sense. Why are we doing all this? What are these bad guys' motive? It's so bad that the bad guys, the way that their plot is wrapped up is, yeah, don't die. Please don't die. Oh, you died? All cool with me. That's all fine with me. And so it's just kind of huh. Okay, it's useless. It's a completely arrogant show that's just for content on Disney Plus. It angers me that this show exists. I genuinely do not like this show whatsoever. And it sucks because it's one of my favorite characters. And I really wish he gets to be in more great things instead of like the meh and the terrible stuff. It's by far not by far, but it's really bad TV show and really kind of sucks because of how much I was looking forward to this. And some episodes are charming, but a lot of it is just bad. Next up, we got Thor: Love and Thunder. These came out at the same time. Like, you should have prayed for me. I went to go see Love and Thunder, then I went home to watch Miss Marvel. That's how bad things were at the time. So, Thor: Love and Thunder is the fourth Thor movie. It recently came out. The Taika Waititi never wanted to direct a Thor movie, and so clearly he was at the top of his world and just did this one for more money. And you can feel it. It really shows. This movie was not good. This movie is so bad that it spends more time talking about Korg and Valkyrie being gay and their past. These are two separate storylines, but they're both the same thing. But they're not gay for each other. They're just each gay, and it's like, okay, that's why are we spending more time on that than the story? And then there's also this. It's so bad that they cast award-winning Christian Bale as just like a throwaway side character. Like, yeah, there's Christian Bale. He's he's the main villain, but it's just a throwaway villain. Okay. Everything cool about him was just completely forgotten. So bad that the only thing I thought was good about this movie was the last 3 minutes where he has that little girl and they're adopting her. That is charming. The rest of the movie is bad. It's so bad that I had to get up out of the theater and walk around the theater for 5 minutes because this movie was just so boring and had nothing interesting to it. This movie was atrocious. There's nothing good about this movie. I'm probably never going to rewatch it. I'm going to forever hate this movie. I cannot stand this movie. On the same track about movies, next up, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This is a movie that I first walked out of the theater, thought to myself, you know what? It's fine. Probably didn't like a lot of it because I'm suffering from MCU fatigue. I was wrong. I rewatched it. The only good part about this movie is when like there's a little adventure with Ant-Man going into like the quantum realm and doing a little bit of the Ant-Man stuff, the Ant-Man thievery, the fun stuff that Ant-Man is known for. And then once that's over, we just get another same thing that we've seen a billion times before. Go stop big villain, big CGI battle. That's not interesting at all. And it's just so bland and overdone that's so boring. And it's not even that, it's offensive. It's so offensive that the way they stopped Kang, who they described as the biggest bad guy, he's going to be the big bad guy. He is a guy that if he escapes, he's destroying so many multiverses. Like, this whole thing is screwed up. They defeat him by saying, go ants, go, and have a couple of giant ants beat them. Ants. They are literally, it's described they are the smartest beings on the planet now, but they are ants. This is the most powerful being on the planet, and he gets defeated by ants. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing at how bad this movie is. It is so freaking terrible that I genuinely can't stand this movie. Not a redeeming quality about it. Iron Man 2 is next. What kind of ants were they? They were like big ants, like just normal ants, but they were really large, and they had a couple of tech things on them. And all they did was walk up and freaking bite Kang, and he was stopped. So it's embarrassing to say the least. Iron Man 2 is next. This movie is like one that suffers from too many plot lines, but not enough of them being interesting. By not enough, I mean, I don't think a single plot line is interesting. No, Jacob, they were not fire ants. They were normal freaking ants, like I said. Okay. So, let's name the plot lines here. Whiplash being recruited. Mickey Rourke is pretty good. Not interesting. Wasted the character. What's his name? I know Sam Rockwell plays him. Justin Hammer. Only good thing about this movie is performance that Sam Rockwell puts on. Not good. There was, what are other plot? Iron Man dying. Boring. Not good. Rhodey becoming War Machine. Not good. Setting up the Avengers. Not good. There are 5 separate plot lines in this hour and 45-minute movie, and I don't think a single one of them were intriguing or could hold their own. It's really impressive for the MCU that this could be my least favorite MCU movie for years until like this last couple of years. That's a pretty good track record because it's not like atrocious, but it's just not interesting. It's boring. It doesn't have enough things that interest me on any subject whatsoever. It's just like it's kind of boring compared to the Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 3, two top 10 Marvel movies. I think it's just I think it's okay. I don't think it's okay. I think it's really bad. It's not a good movie and really shouldn't have suffered from all that was happening. That movie created War Machine. How can you not like it? Boring. It was boring. It's so boring. You made me watch it 3 times, and I was bored out of my mind every time. She-Hulk is next. The next, another MCU show, the next one that came out after Miss Marvel. I didn't hate a lot of the episodes. I thought that a lot of it was intriguing. It was fine. It was fun. The big problem with this one is the finale. We go from having a lot of fun to everything's coming crashing down, and it's all coming together in an interesting plot line and going to resolve it in a satisfying way. And She-Hulk's like, nah, this don't make sense. I'm going to just break the whole timeline, break all the continuity because I'm a woman. And she goes into Disney Plus, meets robot Kevin Feige, and then fricks the whole thing up. Gone. It's destroyed. It's over. Nothing good came out of that finale. Completely butchered the entire show by how terrible that finale was. A lot of people are saying, that's the only good part about the show. It was pretty creative. No, it was creative, but it was lazy. Lazy the way they did it. They didn't want to bring all your plot lines to a compelling end. They just wanted to end the show. They just wanted to end it in the worst way possible. And it's just, it's terrible. It's really bad. It's the rest of the show is fine, but the finale is just bad. Black Widow, and I think here's where I start to say that the bottom 5 are movies that I think are like you. Oh, very funny, Jacob. What's that? Dab. You're an idiot. You know that? You're really kind of stupid. Anyways, Black Widow's where I start to think that they're not terrible movies. They're not great MCU movies, but they're not terrible. Black Widow's got a lot of things to love about the movie. I think that her interactions with her family, some of the action scenes, all that is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. A lot of the problems that I had with the movie come with the third act. It comes into a big CGI battle. It's revealed that Taskmaster is this woman, and she doesn't speak, but she has nothing cool about the Taskmaster that's in the comics. She's just like basically a personal assassin to this big guy, and they have this little CGI big battle where they're falling off the plane, and it's really not all that compelling. The third act is really not all that compelling. I thought the first 2 acts were good. I thought that her interactions with her family, some of the action scenes in there, pretty good. The 2 times I watched it, I was engaged by that. But you head into the third act, it's just like, yeah, big CGI battle. And big CGI battles really don't interest me anymore. So it kind of just didn't blow the whole movie. It didn't make me not like this movie all that much. It's like, yeah, okay. Okay, it's not very good. It's got its issues. Next up, The Incredible Hulk. And thank you, Jacob. We got the dab. I'm not going to count how many dabs. Yeah, The Incredible Hulk is next. This movie just suffers from the issue that it's not all that entertaining. It's not all that entertaining. Because it's just like, it's a movie that it's got its positive. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think every time I rewatch it, it's just like, yeah, okay, it's just kind of a bland movie. It don't have a spark. It doesn't have anything that really sets it out from the rest of the MCU franchise. It's just kind of like, oh, okay. All right, it's a movie. Edward Norton never returns, so it doesn't really matter. None of the thing is really continuity-wise. It's just kind of a movie. Just kind of thrown on there. Don't really got anything unique. It's just like, okay. It's watchable, but it's really kind of bland, really kind of boring. Not the best. And so it never really has a super big issue that offends me or makes me dislike the movie. Just, yeah, that's there. Next up, First Avenger. This is where I think they start going from meh meh to I like it. I like it because it's crazy because the last 5 were terrible, and then the next 2 were it's okay. It's okay. To First Avenger, which I think is a good movie. Speaking of that, we are almost done with 8. Okay, so then after that, I'll answer some questions if anybody got some. Let me take a drink real quick. Love that. Okay, First Avenger. Pretty good. It's basically got the same story that we've seen out of Captain America 1,000 times. Super soldier, weak boy, turns into the super soldier. Headquarters gets attacked, goes up, fights the guy in the middle of the streets, goes back to the army, goes to fight Hydra, fights Hydra, gets in the plane, crashes, dies, and it's a basic story. It doesn't mean it's boring, doesn't mean it's uncompelling. No, it's compelling. It's fine. It's fun. And uh he asked a question. Okay, I'll get back to you. It's fun. I think it's really it could be fun. It's just like compared to a lot of stuff that the MCU does, it's like it's okay. It's an okay movie. It's not like the big top tier stuff, but I think it's fine. It's a fine movie. I think a lot of the movies in Phase One are movies I consider to be fine, pretty good introduction stories, but compared to some of the things that they also do, I mean, specifically Civil War, which where did I put Civil War and the Winter Soldier, which are way up there on the list. I think this one is a pretty good introduction to the Captain America franchise. And soon after that, we got Thor. Thor, the original. I know what you're thinking. You don't think the Dark World is worse than Thor? I like the Dark World. I think the Dark World's fine. I don't got any personal issues with the Dark World. But Thor is here. Thor, just like Captain America: The First Avenger, it's basic. It's a fun MCU movie that is. It's a pretty good origin story. Tells the compelling story of Thor, and basically just makes it. Like you know the story. It's basically just here, setting up for him later, while also telling a pretty compelling story. Nothing about it really offends me. I don't really have anything that I don't really have problems with the movie. I think it's a fine introduction to the character, and it's a fun movie. Same thing as the First Avenger. Same thing as, well, wait, what are other origin stories? First Avenger, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man. Actually, I think Captain America, First Avenger, and Thor are the only 2 origin stories that I either don't like or that I actually really like. So they're kind of just in between. They're fine movies and they fit their place here. And then the 10th movie that we're going to talk about first up, and then I'll answer your question, Jacob. Ant-Man and the Wasp, the first one. I don't hate this movie. I think it's fun. Definitely not as good as the first movie. It's got too many plot lines crashing down, but it's a fun, kind of exhausting chase to where they're all trying to get this not hospital. They're all trying to get this little the building that shrunk. They're all trying to get that. It's pretty fun. You get all the bad guys going chasing after them. You get all the big action. You get all the laughs that you want from an Ant-Man movie. It does everything that you want from an Ant-Man movie, while also not being as compelling as the first one. Of course, it's got too many plot lines. It kind of takes away from some of the fun there a little bit. The villain isn't all that compelling, but it's a fine movie. It's got the Ant-Man isms while also not being as classic and rewatchable as the first Ant-Man. In fact, the last 2 times I rewatched this Ant-Man movie, I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's a fine movie. It's got the problems that you'd expect it to have, but it's also can be pretty good sometimes. So I'd say it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Okay, your question: DC or the latest Marvel stuff? MCU stuff is the latest MCU stuff. I don't know if you mean like DC as like the whole DCEU or the DCU or just any DC movie in general. Over the latest Marvel stuff, I take it. It's specifically the latest DCEU stuff. This year we got Shazam: Fury of the Gods, which was it was okay. And then we had movies like The Flash and Blue Beetle, which are top tier DCEU. Okay, top tier movies. I'd go DCEU, the whole DCEU over the latest Marvel stuff because TV shows have been good, but I haven't really loved an MCU movie in so long. So I kind of liked some of the DCEU. Of course, let me actually go to my DCEU list on here. I literally last night I just watched Birds of Prey again. fun movie. So, okay. Justice League, I think it's fine. Of course, obviously the drama sucks, but 1984. I'm gonna go over all the bad movies. Wonder Woman 1984, Batman v Superman, and a lot of these I've still got to rewatch before my ranking coming up. Batman v Superman, Black Adam, um, and I really got to watch Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman. Where I talk about that. I wouldn't call Man of Steel a bad movie. Wouldn't call Shazam a bad movie. A lot of the stuff they put out is meh. It's okay, but I think compared to the latest DC, it doesn't work as a universe. It's not as compelling as a universe. But I think the individual movies are all of them are more entertaining than the stuff that we've recently gotten from the MCU. I'd have to go DCEU on that one over the latest MCU stuff. MCU in general, it's a perfect universe, but the latest stuff really hasn't been working. Any more questions for me while I stretch out my leg for a minute? Oh, wow, I got a cramp in it. Been recording for 20 minutes. We still got a lot of movies to go, Cat. It's a lot of movies to go. Oh, that felt good. Okay. I'm back. Back from stretching. I'm gonna take a drink and we're gonna kick back up. I do see that there was 44 movies. I saw the number on my list, so we did 10. We got 34 to go. Take a drink. We'll move on to number 34. Tasty. Excuse me. Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, number 34. I like the movie, but I also feel like it could be more compelling. I feel like the movie could be more compelling. I want to see it in the theater with a bunch of friends. All my friends, like, on all the twists and surprises and cameos that this movie managed to pull off, they're like, oh my gosh, that's cool. That's great. I think that bringing the Mandarin from Iron Man 3 was a freaking awesome idea. I really like that idea. But movie for me, I think it has cool stuff going on. But I think the movie in general, it could be more entertaining. I feel like the martial arts scenes weren't as entertaining as it could have been. Story wasn't entertaining, could have been. I saw this movie 4 times now. And each time, I never fully thought the movie worked as it should have worked. I didn't think that it was as compelling as a movie as it could have been. It could have been a much more compelling movie. And I don't necessarily feel like it was all that compelling. So I think it's a fine movie. I think it's I didn't say it's a good movie, but it could have been more compelling, especially with the source material, especially when material it could have been so much better, but it was just kind of a good Marvel movie. Thor the Dark World's next, and I get it. You waited 11 spots to put Thor the Dark World at. This is normally in your guys' bottom 3. I don't get the hate. I really don't. Looking at this, we've got in the bottom, we got 3, 4. We got 4 things that offend me on how bad it is. This movie, it's just kind of a meh movie. It's kind of like the original Thor, Captain America: The First Avenger, Shang-Chi. It's a good movie. It's good. That's all it is. It's pretty good. And it's okay. It's okay to be pretty good, pretty entertaining. Sure, the villain isn't all that cool, but when they killed off Loki, and I remember going to see this one with my mom in the theater, and I just fell asleep in the first 5 minutes, but I woke back up soon. Anyways, in the theater watching this movie, I feel like this movie has so many cool things to where when I grew up and learned what film critic stuff was, I actually was shocked to learn that people don't like this movie because I feel like this one is a superior sequel to Thor. Not besides Ragnarok, of course, but I feel like this one is a pretty good Thor movie. I like a lot of stuff it does. I like the action, I like the Thor stuff. And people are saying bring back Dark Thor, but nobody really liked Dark Thor. Apparently, I would be fine to bring back Dark Thor because I think they're good, easily watchable movies. I really enjoy these movies. I really enjoy this movie, and I really don't get the hate on it. Werewolf by Night, our first MCU special of the day, and Werewolf by Night is a movie it's not even really a movie. I only watched it once. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was pretty compelling. It's got some cool things, but Werewolf by Night is more like it's a one-time thing. Same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Once I watched it, I probably should rewatch this one sometime. But it's a cool thing. It's got some cool ideas. It's got cool characters. It's got cool action, cool things in general. But it's just kind of a 50-minute one-off special that really doesn't have anything all that great about it. Well, not even that. It just really doesn't have any of that weight compared to a lot of things in the MCU. I don't really have a problem with it. It's just like, yeah, it's a cool one-time thing, and that's all it needs to be. It's kind of cool. I'm definitely going to rewatch it here soon, eventually someday. But it's pretty cool. But compared to a lot of things the MCU has done, it's definitely not the greatest thing it is. Then we got the Marvels. The newest movie finally found a place to fit in. Um, the Marvels for me is I think it's a fine movie. It never does anything that offends me like I thought it would be. It never does anything that's over the top or overly bad. I think it's a fine movie. Of course, I'm still not that big of a fan of the third act and when we left off. I never really not Miss Marvel, but Captain Marvel's character is not good here. But I did enjoy a lot of things about this movie. I think it's fun. I think it's charming. I think Iman Vivani is absolutely spectacular in this movie. I think the action is pretty good. I like the villain enough. I feel like her motive for being a villain is worthwhile and engaging. I don't understand the hate on this one either. I think this is a fine movie. I think it's a fine movie. It's nothing really special inside this universe, but compared to a lot of the crap we've been getting, this one and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I don't love. But I think they're fine movies. They're fine. And my cat almost just scratched me because I was playing with her tail. She didn't like that much, did you? Okay. Ow. Okay. Jeez Louise. My bad. Anyways, Wakanda Forever is next. Yeah. The stuff that it does good, it does spectacular. Finding a way to battle the odds after the unfortunate death of Chadwick Boseman, if it does all that great. It explores the way, the grief, all that in such a good way, such a sad way, to where all that was done in a pretty great way. And it was very emotional. Even like with the death of Angelina Bassett, even like the way that is played out, it's emotional, carries great weight. You get a tear to your eye on all that. It's good. The problem with this movie is, for me, it's not the most entertaining aside from the third act and some of the final battle. I did love Ironheart here, but the middle of the movie was kind of just like the big action sequence was Namor flooding and then everybody fighting, and it's just a big jumbled mess. I don't like real big battle scenes. I think a lot of them are boring. This one really didn't fix that. The end battle scene, kind of boring too. I did like how Shuri became Black Panther and fought Namor, but it really wasn't, all that really wasn't engaging. Of course, I need to rewatch this one. This is one that I will rewatch soon. Maybe I'll grow a better opinion on it, but I think the stuff that it does well, it is phenomenal at. It's a top-tier MCU movie. I think the stuff that it doesn't do well, it's kind of can be boring sometimes. WandaVision is next. This is a show, for me, that I really love. The week-to-week talk, always trying to figure out what was a thing about this movie. I was obsessed with this show when it first came out. I was always like, wait, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Okay, we gotta identify this. I was watching videos on YouTube about that. This is a whole experience. The whole world was a part of this. The whole world. And yet, I feel like it ran 4 episodes too long. If it was a 7 to 6 episode show and kind of cut some of things short, got to the finale in time, I would have been more engaged by it. But I definitely got a little bit bored at the end of the show. Definitely it definitely overstayed its welcome just a little too bit. And so, even though it overstayed its welcome, still was kind of an experience. The finale was just kind of a CGI battle, so it wasn't all that engaging. But I liked it. I liked the show. Definitely could have not been that long. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is next. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I know a lot of you love this movie. I haven't rewatched it yet. As one I definitely plan on rewatching before the end of the year. Maybe it'll go up, but it has a Scream 6 syndrome for me, to where it never fully, the people that are here, you never have stakes, because, and I don't really feel the emotions, because it really didn't want to kill off its characters. You have the fake out death with Rocket. Perfect. But when Star-Lord's about to die and he gets saved, that's way too much. It's like somebody's going to die. This is a big emotional gut punch that we're all going to shove at you. And each time it's like someone's going to die, They just survive, and it's just another fake out, just like Scream 6. I didn't really feel the emotions because, of course, it's an entertaining Marvel movie. James Gunn does everything well. The backstory with Rocket Raccoon is perfectly done. The action sequences are really fun. It's just a really fun movie. The thing is about this movie, it's just it has room to just kill off one character. Fix all the issues I had with it. And even like the way that they leave. It's like, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy breaking up. You did all that just to break up at the end. It doesn't feel earned. And I left the theater like, huh, okay, it was good, but it definitely had room to be better and could have been better. And it's just kind of disappointing that this is the movie we got. Not because of the fake out deaths, just because of the fake out deaths. I did find the rest of the movie entertaining, but the fake out deaths were kind of they kind of were a buzzkill for me. Wait, we start at Shang-Chi. Okay, so we'll finish this row of letterbox, and then anybody has any... Oh, we got another viewer back. Okay, we lost a viewer, but now he's back. Well, I took some questions after the next three. Oh, heck, a yawn. It's only 7 o'clock, but I'm kind of tired. Age of Ultron is next. The worst Avengers movie, in my opinion. I'm taking a drink before I can talk any more about this. Cheers, mate. Pretty good. Oh, shoot. Spilled some on me. It's all spilled on me. My bad. Age of Ultron movie that kind of had too many plot lines. Kind of not a lot of plot lines were all that engaging. But for an Avengers movie, I think it's still pretty fun. This is a movie that I actually went to the theater to go see it twice. I got the Blu-ray. I watched it over and 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 over again. I still think it is very charming, very fun, very engaging movie. I feel like the Wanda and Pietro, all that stuff was pretty good. I thought that the Ultron voice actor and the Ultron stuff that he does is pretty cool. The final battle is really cool. It's just an Avengers movie that's done really well, but it also has too many plot lines and feels a bit overstuffed at times. It does a lot of things great, very entertaining, very good MCU project, but it also, like I said, is very overstuffed and kind of sets up way too much things. It's got a lot of payoff. It's got a lot of good things here, but last couple times I rewatched it, I was like, there is way too much going on here. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. This is a movie that when I first watched it, I never really liked. Never big fan of Guardians 2. But keep rewatching it. Kept rewatching it, and each time I do feel like the middle kind of like never has anything to do except when you're on the Ravager ship, so there's a lot of downtime in this movie. But I think that the ending is very emotional and very done well. And it actually, when the Guardians are together, it's freaking hilarious. I die laughing watching this movie every time. It's easily watchable. It's a watchable movie. I feel like it's funny. It's got its gut punch emotions. The movie is, for me, also just kind of like, it kind of has a lot of downtime. And you're watching this and you're like, huh, okay, I wish we'd get on with some things, and you're sticking there for a while. That the moment that something goes on, it's good. But it takes a while to get to the moment something goes on. All right, our last movie we're talking about till we take a just minute break. Secret Invasion. It's not a movie; it's a TV show. I know a lot of people hated this. This is where I think I'd go from. How would I describe this? Okay, so from Miss Marvel to She-Hulk, I'd say they're not good. From Black Widow to Hulk, I'd say it's And from Captain America, the First Avenger, I'd say to Guardians 2, I'd say it's good, but they're very flawed. And Secret Invasion is one that is it's good. I had flaws with the ending. I feel like the big CGI battle kind of dumb. The big CGI battle is actually horrible. It's a horrible way to end the show. But this show was so compelling to me about the Skrull invasion and everything that it does that I was very intrigued by it. Couldn't wait each week. In fact, I actually went to Texas for a mission trip, and it dropped on that Friday morning on a mission trip, and I woke up at 5 in the morning just so I could watch this movie. or this latest episode, and just so I am caught ahead of it. And I gotta say, it was a great episode too. Like all the intriguing spy stuff, you never know who to trust. You have all the action in it that you want. You have the characters, you have the character deaths, everything that you want to feel the stakes here, while also setting up for a pretty cool thing. I genuinely like the show. I don't see why people have a big problem with it. Of course, the finale ending up with a big CGI battle that looks horrible is not good, but it sets it up for another season that I think would be really good. And I am genuinely surprised that people do not like this show. I genuinely don't understand why people don't like this show. I really dug this show. And so, yeah, we're going to take a real quick break. How many more we got? 24 at this point. Yeah, 24 sounds about right. Hold on, that's 4, 8, 16. Wait, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. 24 exactly. I was right. Go and shoot some questions. I'll be right back. I'm going to go take a piss break. Yeah, and then if you got any questions, we'll answer them. And then I will go ahead and continue on with the next 10. I'll be back. Ugh. Right back. Oh, my leg hurts. Ouch. Yeah, go ahead. Questions, please. Oh. What got stuck? I'm back. I bet y'all missed me. I don't got any questions. Guess not. Guess y'all don't miss me. Get on my bed without shaking the camera, and it did not work. Yeah. Did not work. Perfect. Okay, taking a drink. And I got a question to answer. Probably get on with the 24. It's good. Tastes good. Great propel. Which is better, the Captain America movies or the Wolverine movies? I actually haven't seen a Wolverine movie. I know I'm watching all the X-Men right now. Probably after my DCU rewatch, I'll probably finish the X-Men. Never seen Logan yet. I bought it. I'm so hyped to watch that movie. Never seen Logan yet. Never seen the Wolverine. Never seen X-Men Origins Wolverine. So I'd have to say Captain America. But I never liked Captain America movies growing up. Recently, as I became older, I really think that Civil War and the first, not First Avenger, but the Winter Soldier, and even the First Avenger, they all kind of grew on me. These are movies that grew on me. So, okay, 24. Don't know why I'm messing with. Well, crap. Got this Christmas album that we used to listen to all the time, just sitting in my floor. So, yeah. Okay, let me yawn real quick. I actually think past Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Secret Invasion, I think that we're still on. I really like. I think we're on to the. I really like, but I have issues with it. Okay, 24. We're moving on. 24, Moon Knight. Cat, I swear if you keep scratching my book that is holding my phone, I will throw you out this room. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love you. Love you. You my baby cat. You my baby kitty cat. Yeah. Yeah, you do like being pet. I'm sorry. Okay, Moon Knight, number 24. The middle section of the movie, of the show, boring. Not really much going on. I thought it was really boring. But the first 2 episodes, very compelling start. And the last 2 episodes, perfect. Perfect. How's Homelander say this? Oh, I'm tired. Sorry, guys. Homelander says, perfect. Perfect. Everything down to the last minute detail. Last 2 episodes, I felt that way. Moment he gets into the mental hospital, you get the emotional story, the emotional backstory. Then you get to the last episode, which is one of the better big CGI battles that I thought was pretty engaging. I like the villain. I like the setup. I like the creepy themes. I like Moon Knight's costume. I think that's cool. I like the 2 characters. He has amazing chemistry with himself. I really, really like the twist reveal at the end to where we're not done. We have... Oh, God, I'm still yawning. Oh, I swear it's only 7 o'clock. I don't know why I'm yawning this bad. Anyhow, the twist reveal where we get the third personality makes me want another season so freaking bad. Yet we were getting another season, and I'm even more excited for that one than I was for Loki season 2. So there are so many great things about this show. Middle 2 episodes boring, kind of irrelevant, but I did like all the rest of the show, and it makes the show worth watching. Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange, I think it's a very, very good movie. I feel like the origin story part is cool. The magic part is cool. The introduction part is cool. I think all that for Doctor Strange is cool. Well, you also get the weird, trippy magician stuff, the big final battle, the big battles with the bad guys. All that is pretty cool for a Doctor Strange movie. I haven't seen this one in years. Honestly, I haven't seen this one in like maybe 4 years. So it's been a while. I haven't seen this one since 2020 start. And so, yeah, I like the movie back when I used to watch it all the time, but I probably need to rewatch it. But I really do think it's one of the more trippy, interesting movies in the MCU. It's more interesting, and I kind of like the new one better. So, Spider-Man: Far From Home is next. This movie it's interesting. The plot is kind of stupid, where Tony Stark leaves the glasses to a kid, basically leaves him to a kid. Progresses the plot. The way that villain gets a big plot is John Cena. God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Y'all are watching in post. Gotta sit through this. At least you guys can skip that are watching in post. Far From Home, anyways. The main thing that Mysterio goes is he's relying on the kid to make a stupid decision. He does all that. There's got some writing problems. For a Spider-Man movie, it's pretty engaging. It's got all the Spider-Man action you want. It's got all the laughs that you want from one of these movies. It's got the cool Peter Parker and his classmates sense. The romance with MJ, I think, some of the best in this franchise. Some of the battle at the end is really, really, really compelling. Sorry about that distraction. I got a notification on my phone about Draymond Green absolutely decking somebody last night. Anyways, I feel like all that's really compelling. It's a solid Spider-Man story that has a couple writing issues. I feel like the hate for this one's so forced. It's fun. It's not perfect, but it's engaging and it's fun, and I enjoy the movie. Multiverse of Madness is next. The next Doctor Strange movie. I get it. You want it to be more multiversal. You want it to be full of more madness than it actually had. But first date I've ever been on, really dug it. I really dug it. I really kind of liked it. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on a minute. Oh, off camera. Sorry. I'm live. I can't edit this out. Okay, anyways. I get that. First date, kind of a cool experience. She hates horror. I love horror. And I really like the horrorist vibes that Sam Raimi got. I really like the vibes that Sam Raimi put in this movie. I like the creepiness. I like the Wanda becoming a villain arc. I like the Doctor Strange completely with America Chavez, completely just going off crazy. I feel like the cameos are cool. Of course, there's behind the scenes drama. This was in development hell. I feel like there's a lot of issues that this movie had. For me, not only experience, but I just feel like it was a fun movie that feels pulled straight out of a comic book. Excuse me. This story feels pulled straight out of a comic book, and that's what makes it so cool as a movie. That I've never once seen a movie that follows Doctor Strange, but brings in another character to be the villain, kind of fan fiction-y, horrorist vibe. I still can't believe that this movie exists, that a Sam Raimi directed Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie that has some horroristic vibes. I still think this movie is pretty cool, and I still really, really like this movie. Hawkeye is next. I think here on, I don't really have issues with any of these movies. Oh, shoot. I almost shut off my tablet. Hold on. No. Let me get off that. Thank you. Okay, hold on. Sorry, what were we talking about? Hawkeye. Okay, that's right. I really don't think any of these movies. I think this is from where I go to. It's good or great, but I have problems with it. I feel like this is really great. Starting with Hawkeye, I feel like this show is just everything you want from a Christmas MCU thing. It's got the Christmas vibes, it's got the funness, it's got the Christmas carols, it's got the chemistry between your two leads that are very engaging. It's got the setup for Echo. It's got the introduction to kind of the Kingpin in the MCU, kind of bringing in stuff from the Daredevil universe. Got me into the Daredevil universe. I finally just finished season 1. Kind of quit watching that one halfway through and then finished it. And I kind of liked it. And so bringing all that here, kind of being the arc there is pretty cool. Meanwhile, it's a very street level with pretty cool bad guys, and the finale is a fun Christmas finale. I feel like this show is a show that this and No Way Home were both movies and shows that I was going through my slump. I quit my YouTube channel. I didn't want to do this anymore, and they kind of just brought me back in. Kind of just made me be like, you know what? I like movies and TV shows. And now look at me. We only had like 50 subscribers then. We are now on to almost 115. That is 55 more subscribers in, of course, well, that's over a year, but we are growing fast. I've actually this week alone gained 7 subscribers. Like, that's crazy. So it kind of brought me back in, also while being very fun and very engaging, and I really liked it. Let me check my phone battery real quick, make sure we're good on time. Oh, wow, we're only at 73%. Okay, that's good. Got all these notifications. Draymond Green is especially counseling and work with, whoa, he's getting counseling. Okay. Oh, shoot. Kyle McCord's not going to. Sorry, that was really engaging. Kyle McCord's not going to Nebraska Huskies. Kind of sad. I kind of wanted him to. Kyle McCord's quarterback for Ohio State, by the way. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is next. One of the most No, it's not one of the. It is the most overhated MCU project. I get it. A lot of you didn't like it. A lot of you were like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of the villain. We're supposed to root for her, but she's also a terrorist. The character's kind of crazy. Sam just gives up the shield, all that. I get all that. It's all about racism, and it's gotta telling you to stop being racist. I get all that. I felt the racist part was done pretty well. I like the villain. I understand that she's bad, but her motive was actually is messed up, but it's pretty cool. And I love the vibe. Oh, wait. I should probably keep these fingers up instead of just flipping you guys off. And the chemistry between Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan are off the charts. That is very fun. This show is one that I've watched multiple times. Really dug it each time. Really liked the action. Really liked all that was in this one. I feel like it's one of my favorite MCU shows. It's very engaging. It's very fun. It's also got very cool action, very funny jokes, and a villain that's pretty. I don't mind her. Also, we get Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell, as the U.S. agent. I think that's very cool. That's a very cool plot. I feel like he was acted very well. And so it just has all these cool stuff in here that I kind of want a season 2 of this. This is probably my favorite, one of my personal favorite MCU shows. How engaging this was, how cool this was. And I still can't believe that everybody is like, oh, I hate this. Everybody hates it. And so just kind of sucks for that reason, as well as I really do like this one. Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel. I did not like it when I got out of the theater the first time. I did not like this movie. But in the future, when we got Disney Plus, my mom liked the movie. We watched it like one time each week, and each time it grew on me a little more, to where this has become one of the most rewatchable MCU movies, one of the most entertaining MCU movies. It's got the thing where it's kind of a mystery all begin. You kind of like the reveals, and I think the reveals give us the emotional payoff that we deserved. I think that it was pretty cool in that area. I think the action was pretty cool. I like going back to the 80s. I like seeing the young Samuel L. Jackson. I like all that aspect in here. I like a lot of things that this movie does. Of course, I didn't like it when I first walked out, but this is the power of rewatching, that when I rewatched it with my family quite often, I feel like this one was one of the most compelling movies in the MCU, and I feel like I kind of like this movie. Another movie that I don't understand a lot of the hate. I feel like it's easily rewatchable and just kind of fun. Civil War is next. Drink time. Cheers, mate. What did I do? It almost shut off. No, don't do that. Oops. Hey, stop it. The cat's licking. It's a little better. Stop it. Can you stop? She's literally biting her own tails. Crazy cat. Civil War, anyways. Yeah, this Captain America movie. Really like it. I really like how they combine all the Avenger stuff, also with the gruesomeness of the Captain America series, all the action, all the funness that is to be had there. I feel like the action is very good. The stakes are very high. The way that we go from having the Avengers be big, and now it's tearing apart. All that. The smarts by Baron Zemo is very good. The action is very good. It has all the emotional payoff you want, while also setting up for Avengers Infinity War. And it just does everything really well. Like, this for a long time was easily my favorite Captain America movie. Of course, it's now The Winter Soldier. You already know that after this recent rewatch. But this is a movie that I will rewatch, and I'll just find it to be one of the most cool, slick, and pretty great Captain America movies and MCU movies out there. I really dig this movie. I think it's very good. Thor Ragnarok, this and their next movie is the next two we're going to talk about then. Jacob and whoever else wants to join if you all have any questions for me. Thor Ragnarok is next. Easily the best Thor movie. It's fun. It's funny. It's got all the cast charm that you want. Got all the action sequences that you want. It's got a very compelling villain in Hela. When Loki comes back, it's satisfying, and you feel that. The group, the Revengers, as Thor calls it, is all very cool and fun. And even at the finale, when we get to the Ragnarok, it's all fun. Even though Taika Waititi didn't want to direct this movie, it's a very fun MCU movie. One of the most fun that I've had on any of these movies. I constantly rewatch this one. I still rewatch this one, and I feel like this one is one of the most fun MCU movies out there. It's very good, very, very good, and still holds up to this day, specifically with Love and Thunder being a flaming pile of crap. We pretend like that one doesn't count, and this was the last time we saw Thor in his own movies, because this movie is really good, really, really good. The Eternals, I know. Putting the Eternals above Civil War and Ragnarok is kind of freaking crazy of me. This is a movie that I really like. I talked to so many people, and so many of them do not like this movie. Like, they do not like this movie. They don't like it with a burning passion. I really like this movie. I really, really, really do like this movie. I feel like it's got a cool cast. It's got a compelling story to where you want to know what's actually happening. The big celestial feels big and intense, and the way that it ends is very cool. I like the freshness of this. Remember, at this point, we really didn't get anything bad from the MCU Phase 4, so I was still really digging the MCU, and I went in the theater with a bunch of friends. I thought it was one of the more unique MCU movies, and ever since I rewatched it, I still feel like it's one of the more unique and entertaining MCU movies. I know a lot of my friends think it's trash, they can't even sit through it most of the time, but it's one of my personal favorite MCU movies. It's another personal pet peeve of mine that I really do enjoy this movie. 3 moles sucks. The heck is 3 moles? You mean the Eternals? That could be what you mean. Anyways, got a question. Just stretch my back. We got how many more? Let me count how many more. Guardians go. Oh wait, I can't spoil it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 more. Oh, we got 14 more. The last time we'll answer questions on tonight's live stream. We're gonna get through this. It's crazy how the MCU has so much content that like you have to go on live to even like get this video out. It's crazy for me. I'm probably not gonna do another MCU ranking this next whole year. After Deadpool 3, I plan on doing an X-Men ranking. That's probably it. Even with the TV shows, I plan on not to. Also, we do have What If coming out. We do have What If. I didn't include What If on this list because I never really fully watched it. But I probably will watch it, especially when season 2 comes out. Any questions? My leg really needs popping. Is it possible I can sit like this for a minute? Let me stretch my back. God, it feels so good. Oh, that feels good. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, did y'all hear that pop? Did y'all hear that pop? I really need to find a new way to set this up that's more comfortable. Really not comfortable. All right, I'll give you 7:23. Ask questions, and we're going to get this ranking over with. The amount of content overload that Marvel's been doing is crazy. I used to think making Marvel ranking was easy. Now we got a live stream for over an hour to do one. One minute on the clock. I recently finished Comic Flashpoint today. Really liked it. I really kind of like the Flashpoint storyline. I really love the Flash movie. But next read, I recently went to the store and they had like $3.99 comics. So I got so many New 52 comics plan on reading. But I also got to read Old Man Logan, something I also want to read. So there's that too. Yeah, y'all. Oh, buddy. Kind of missing out on your chance to ask a question. I'll give you 5 more seconds. Buddy, go to can of 5, 4, 3. Oh, shoot. 3, 2, 1. Oh, oh my gosh. I actually nailed that. It literally just turned 7:23 the moment I did that. Okay, 14. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, Daddy. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Why would you say that, yo? Daddy Jacob, $23. Oh my gosh, why would you say that? Guardian Galaxy Holiday Special is number 14. I know what I said about Werewolf by Night. Oh, it's just a special. It's just a special. You don't really need to. It's nothing real particular about it. This one is completely different. It's got the Guardians of the Galaxy in it, and it's so full of heart and emotions, so full of heart, emotions, and family. It's a really great way to get you in the Christmas vibe. I say all I want about Disney Plus and the content overload. I say that a lot. But I think that they're really good at the holiday movies. I really did like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid holiday movie. Thought that was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good movie. So I think they're very good at holiday, and this one feels like not just James Gunn being like, okay, yeah, you want this, we're just going to dump it out. He still cares about the characters, cares about all that, and so he makes it to be in a very intriguing, it's very intriguing, all it does, and very cool, emotional, heartfelt, and it's crazy. It's favorite Guardians of the Galaxy thing. That's just how heartfelt and cool it is. So I like that. These next two kind of go together. Season 2 of Loki is number 13. Season 1 is number 12. We're just going to kind of talk about the Loki show in this section. Season 1 of Loki, I think, is very good. It's definitely one of the best MCU projects. It's got the intriguingness of it. It's got the cool action sequences of it. It's got the characters. It's got the week-to-week chat to where you're really just talking to your friends about these each week to week. It's very good. Very good in the way that does there. And you know what? Real quick, I'm going to try not to rush this. I got to go to the bathroom. Going on live stream. So we'll take this up at part 2. Pick this up at part 2 talking about Loki.